So don't be tricked into the full disclosure event, the global awakening. There's no globe. We don't live in a globe, so it's not a global awakening. There are no extraterrestrial humans. Those are fallen angels. And all of this, when they reveal all these things to you, and they pretend to cry and do their meditation, yoga, and try to be kind and motherly and fatherly, and they try to manipulate you with music and songs and reading the Bible and chanting Buddhist mantras, when they try to do all of those things to buy you and try to give all of this disclosure, breeding programs, transhumanism, me labs, galactic wars, quantum mechanics, kundalini. When they try to do all that to you, know that it's not coming from a Father in heaven. Know that it is not coming from Son of God, Yeshua, known as Jesus Christ in this world. It's not coming from them. Their redemption plan is different, and you have to go deeper to see. So when Christ brings the redemption plan to this earth, they will do the full disclosure event. So when Jesus Christ, Son of God, Yeshua, when you begin your redemption plan through the Father and Son, they will do the full disclosure event to trick you. They'll give you all this information to fool you. But I do not see this going mainstream. All this level of work has already been done from a very long time ago. And so this is not unique. It's not isolated to the disclosure event situation. This level of disclosure is coming from across the world. Secret space programs, disclosure of human trafficking, disclosure of mind control, disclosure of transhumanism, disclosure of targeting, disclosure of breeding programs, disclosure of me labs. All of that has already been given throughout the world. So it is not a new thing. Quantum financial system, quantum mechanics, all of that. So know that when these guys are going to come out and be like, oh, this is a full disclosure, we are the Ascension people, and take this Ascension glossary and go learn about the new age. It's all false. And do not be gullible. And this is just a strategy of the controlled opposition. Use your critical thinking. Don't be manipulated. And read the scriptures. You don't need this. Read the scriptures and go listen to the thousands of people giving actual disclosure that are speaking of what's going on, and people that are actually being trafficked, they themselves are giving disclosure. For someone like me in my position, I'm giving disclosure of the telepathic reality that we live in. It precedes the hive mind that they talk about in this website. It's beyond that. It's organic telepathy, body, mind, and the whole earth. They can will. So don't buy into this. This is superficial information, and also record keeping for them. And to have it in physical documentation is really important, so that when I give testimony, I'm like, these are the guys I'm talking about. And they themselves are giving testimony for themselves and recording their own system for us to understand. Whether it's 50% true, it's still useful. And we know how they lie and how they think and what they do. So these planetary disclosure events, over here it says like data dumps into global mainstream broadcast, igniting the sequential phases of planetary disclosure event. They're calling it the organic ascension time wave. So be careful of these things, because even if they are doing that, global mainstream broadcast, anything done on the TV, anything on the mainstream is coming straight from the fallen angels, because they own the mainstream reality, is theirs. Anything that gets popularized is coming from the fallen angels. But Father and Christ, they have their own ways to make things known to the entirety of humanity, because Father is Father, and he has his own way and his own intelligence for people to know and see. And you will find a lot of holes in the global mainstream broadcast as well, and there will be plenty of people that will decode that in the future, because Father's going to give them the Holy Spirit to speak. So nothing is one-sided. They cannot be like, I'm just going to do all this and overtake the ascension, or overtake the end times. I'm just going to come in and give all this and overtake the redemption plan of the end times. It doesn't work like that. It's very complicated. And humans will, like smart humans, don't even have to consider this. Like, they'll just know. But many people, many people might buy into this, and that's very dangerous. Because they have been doing this for over 5,000 years, and they know us, they know the humans, and they manipulate that as much as they can to trick and fool us. But all this won't last. The peace treaty only lasts for 3.5 years according to the scriptures, and that's how it will be. So maybe even they believe, maybe they'll think, oh, we can do this, we're going to do this honestly, we're going to help everyone and be amazing. But they can't. 3.5 years, they're going to break their contract, they're going to break their promises, and they are just going to show their true hand, and their true selves is going to reveal. So they can't maintain their kindness or whatever they claim to have. They can't maintain that, because the darkness comes out, the manipulation has to come out, the real true nature has to come out. And if they're giving you all this information, don't fall for it. Read the real scriptures, and this is just there as a side information to help you see through what's going on with the fallen angels, what they're doing. It's just there for that. But the main thing you have to know is you have to build your connection with Christ. You have to get your Sunyata baptism, and only Christ can take you to Father. Through Sunyata baptism, you go to the Son of God. Son of God will accept you only after your Sunyata baptism. And once you have your Sunyata baptism, Son will accept you. And Son is the gate. And through that gate, you can go to our Father in heaven. That's the only system. The other systems are just there to trick and fool you, and they're temporary systems. But the permanent system is Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. So the Holy Spirit baptism, Sunyata, which is the tribulation ground, you gain your Holy Spirit baptism of Sunyata during the Great Tribulation. Then Christ will accept you. Christ will take you to Father. That's the only real system. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. So you can study the fallen angelic history written by the fallen angels themselves. You can study this and understand it for yourself, what it means. And a lot of the stuff that they are saying, they indirectly say it. They never say it directly. And for example, here, many of the Nephilim were destroyed on the earth during the Nephilim wars, and their fragmented consciousness became enmeshed with the lower demonic spirits of the dense level of earth matter. Some of these entities bound to the earth became known as the Watchers. That's the fallen angels, Watchers. And compromise of both combination of Nephilim and fallen angels, fragments such as the Belial or Baal entities. Over time, these fragments evolved into many lower spirits hierarchies of entities trapped within the earth fields, unable to evolve or heal. So this Nephilims are like the giants that were born when the Watchers, the fallen angels, Watchers, that is the angels of heaven, they breached into the earth, and they came into earth And Father says, you cannot go to earth, you cannot have sex with the females of earth, but they actually came to earth, the watchers, the angels, and they had sex with the women here, and they had babies, and those babies became the Nephilim giants. And father did the Noah flood, and the Noah flood wiped out everything and everyone. And that hybridized Nephilim giant, they actually became the evil spirit, and this is written in the book of Enoch. And over here they have expressed that, but indirectly. And so over here, some of these entities bound on the earth became known as the Watchers, comprised both of combinations of Nephilim, which is like the human angel hybridized giants, and the fallen angels themselves. So they are known as like the Baal entities. That's what it says here. Over times, they evolved into many lower spirit hierarchies. So that could be true, because we are seeing a lot of these demons. There's so many. And it's like how, like if you look at the mainstream, if you look at all the politicians, all their families, all their fans, they're all demons. So that could be true, evolved into many lower spirit hierarchies of entities trapped within the earth fields. So that entities that are trapped in this earth is the evil spirits that we're dealing with. And that evil spirit is the Nephilims that was born as a result of the angels breaching and having sex with the women here. And they produced giants. They were like 7 foot, 8 foot, 9 foot, 10 foot, 11 foot, 12 foot giants. All this is written in the Hebrew scriptures, and they are called the Nephilims. That's who they are. And they were not destroyed in any war, but they were actually destroyed by the flood of Noah. Father just did this massive cleansing, because what the Nephilim was doing, they were sinning against everything. They were sinning against the humans, probably cutting, eating, raping everyone, eating, cutting all the plant life. So they were just like these wild 12-foot demons. So imagine that. It was just like a zoo, Nephilim zoo. So the creation itself was lost. The innocence and the sacredness was lost. So Father wiped it out. And then then only Noah's family was saved, and humanity came from Noah's family. So that's how you can understand it. So all of humanity is coming from Noah's family, because he was the only one. He was the only family left after the flood of Noah. So this is true, so that you can understand it that way, like what the evil spirits are in this world and what we're dealing with. They are like the Nephilim giants that we're dealing with. And the Watchers are real. Watchers are the angels that watch over humanity. They're still good watcher angels, of the holy angels of our Father. Not all these watchers are bad, but the watchers are very well known and have a bad rep in the Hebrew scriptures as well, because these watchers that watch humanity, they are the ones that breached us. And Father says, don't go down there, don't have sex with them. And they did exactly that, and they had babies. They became the evil spirits that we're dealing with now. So these could be different fallen angel identity. The Leviathan is not a fallen angel, because Leviathan is the beast of the ocean, the beast of the sea. So Leviathan lives in the sea. Leviathan's identity is very mysterious and quite hidden. And sometimes the scriptures say it's a male, it's a female. So I haven't figured out whether it's a male or a female, because it says different things in different scriptures. So there are two creatures our Father made, Leviathan of the sea and Behemoth of the land. So they're the two main creatures that our Father made. So it's not like, it's not a fallen angel. So these could be real. Seed of the Antichrist, Azazel, that's not true, because Azazel is actually the goat that gets released into the wilderness, because he committed a great sin against humanity, because he taught everything to humans. Everything that we do, the makeup and all the vanity, he taught humanity that. But he's already been punished. He's already been thrown into the darkness until the end times, until his judgment. Azazel is already being punished. Imposter spirits, you'll see that everywhere. The entirety of the celebrity elites are imposturing royalty, imposturing to be dancers and singers, imposturing to be talented. So this world is full of imposters. The 72 demons. So you can these are all like the demons. Could be the fallen angels. I'm not sure. But the demons are not just demons. They have a history behind them. So they have their own spirit of Christ stuff that they are creating, but they don't do any of this. They don't believe in purity. You have the crucifixion implant. I don't know how they came up with that. 666 seal, that's your mark of the beast, 666. Seraphim is the angelic hierarchy of heaven. Cherubims are another angelic hierarchy. So they have created their own system here, as you can see. And you can study the fallen angels, and they have given testimony for themselves. They have written down their own history. And you can study this if you want. You can study some of the technology. You can study the crystalline DNA. And when they say this Atlantean cataclysm, when they say the flood of Atlantis, the flood of Lemuria, that's all fake, because that's just the flood of Noah. They always tell you indirectly. They don't tell you the real thing. So this Christos diamond sun race is the fallen angel. They are playing with their DNA in that way. So they are like genetically engineered archonic creatures, such as the AI hybrid fallen angel entities, or artificially controlled demonic races, which are not organic or natural to our solar system and planetary matrix. That's actually accurate. So that's what you'll see in the celebrities. They are like the AI hybrid fallen angel entities. When you see them through the hologram, they're probably AI hybrid, genetically engineered archonic creatures. So that's like all the animals that you see glitching to the holograms. It's probably that. So over here it says the holographic inserts can be used in many sophisticated ways to alter perceptions and install programming through the manipulation of the human DNA code by altering how the signal is being sent to the brain and neurological system. The human body and the energy field is a living light hologram. Thus, through holographic inserts, the entire physiology and consciousness of the individual can be altered. So this is probably what we are seeing through the hologram, is like this holographic inserts that can change the entire physiology, which is your biology, which is your physical make, and the individual of the consciousness of the individual can be altered. So when celebrities are glitching from animal to human, we're probably seeing like this physical changes, biological physical changes through the holographic inserts. And that's probably what we are seeing, and this is probably what they mean by that. So some of the hologram descriptions that they have given here. Hologram, they've got the globe there. So it's like blonde hair, fallen angel, and a globe. So you can study this if you believe it. There are some truths, but most of it is just for reading, and we are never going to fully understand it because it is not taught to us by Yeshua or the holy angels or our Father. So all this will be incomplete, but it gives you an idea.